Welcome to the American Forked Podcast. American Forked Podcast. American Forked Podcast.
Welcome.
American.
To the American Forked Podcast.
Thank you, Barry White. You don't have to say anything. You can just purse your lips together.
I'm doing really good at not saying anything.
Thanks, Jeff. That's Jeff. Jake's over here with the low voice. This is Phil with the average, regular voice that doesn't sound like any food group.
Butter.
Right?
Yep. That's what I always say.
On this, we're friends that have all grown up together since we were like 10, 12, 14, something like that. Now that we're old, fat people, we have different views on the world, but we still like to get together and try and figure out how we can fix this country so it's not so stupid.
Forked up.
Is that the right way to put it?
Yeah, so it's not so forked.
Yeah. Anyway, we grew up in American Fork, Utah, and per tradition, we like to reminisce by seeing what's going on in that dear old town. And apparently, there are bodies everywhere.
Yeah.
Because someone died up the canyon.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Just a few days ago on Sunday, there was a hiker that texted his friend, I'm on my way back. He was hiking near the mouth of the canyon.
Yeah. So he had service.
And he texted his friend, my battery's almost dead. Meet me at 9 a.m. on Sunday. This is Sunday morning. Meet me at 9 a.m. at the toll booth station, whatever ranger station thing in the mouth of the canyon.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And his buddy went to meet him, and he wasn't there. He said it didn't surprise me because it said his battery was almost dead. But they ended up sending a search party out.
And he was dead?
Eventually found the body of the man.
What happened? Bee sting.
I know that it was rugged
He's allergic to
terrain.
bees.
No, I'm going to call heat stroke.
Oh, probably. Yeah.
Heat exhaustion. Something. It was crazy hot this weekend.
Super hot. We were actually just cooking s'mores in the studio before we turned the air conditioner on. Yeah.
Just letting those marshmallows melt.
Mm.
Yeah, I don't know. But that sucks.
Mm-hmm.
Someone had just heard from him and then he died. So.
Yeah, that does suck.
He's dead. And then you were saying what? You were camping up there this weekend and saw a helicopter come pick up someone else?
Yeah, we were at Timpanuki Campground and the life flight was circling around right above us for about 20 minutes or so. And
what?
And apparently there was a girl that was hiking Timp that was unconscious at the time. I guess she fell and got injured. And they came and took her to the hospital. And last I heard was she was conscious and responding to people. So she was better than when they found her, but I don't know how she is right now.
Probably heat exhaustion again.
Yeah, it was crazy hot. Wasn't it hot while you guys were up there?
The canyon, it was perfect up there.
Oh, was it really?
At least in the shade.
Yeah.
I mean, it got down to probably high 50s at night.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, it was awesome. I slept in the hammock and wasn't too cold at all. But during the day, it was in the shade. It was 90s.
Yeah.
It's a little warm.
Yeah.
For being that high up in the canyon.
Yeah. It was 80s to 90s somewhere through the hottest time of the day.
Well, it's been freaking hot out there, if you haven't noticed, especially for Labor Day weekend, which usually is
starting
cooler.
to chill out.
Yeah. So that's been pretty crazy.
Well, did we hit a record today in Salt Lake, Utah area? Salt Lake,
100 million degrees.
100 million only?
Something like that, yeah.
100 Kelvin.
That it was a record today.
It's
late in the year to be 100. It was 100 in Provo. So
it was over 100 here.
Yeah.
Usually my Alexa device says the temperature, and it's usually a little warmer than that.
Yeah.
And she was saying 101.
Yeah. In our little 200 square foot studio, we have 2 air conditioners running full blast.
Yeah.
One of them's reading at 82 degrees and the other at 78. I don't know what that means.
We just changed to 77.
But
And they're
77.
literally they're the same brand, same size, right next to each other.
So I don't know what that means, but it probably means these 2 air conditioners are having a hard time cooling this tiny room.
We do have a third air conditioner, which is 64 Otter Pops per person.
That's right.
Yeah.
We've got plenty of Otter Pops, so we're good to go. And I don't know if we talked about this, but remember, we've talked about this story like 3 times now. So a few weeks back in the American Fork Walmart parking lot, you had this runaway baby driver get shot at by the police, right?
So a baby was running away and stole a car?
Something like that.
Okay.
Anyway, I remember I made a joke like, oh, they didn't even hit him. But apparently there were 2 men in the car. So they kicked the mother out of the car. 2 men took off in the car. The police fired at them as they left.
Right.
Well, it turns out the police did hit both of those guys.
Oh.
And not the child in the back.
Well,
that's
pretty impressive.
So that's a good thing.
Some good shooting.
Yeah. So good job, American Fork Police, except I still don't know how they got away after being shot. But
I mean, it depends. I mean, it probably went through a car door and then hit him.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
It's
just like, it's just a slug in the epidermis.
It's just a flesh wound.
Yeah, when
just
it enters your body after entering a metal door of a vehicle, it's not near the same impact as if it hit you directly.
Yeah, I was really confused because I watched the video and it was like, bang, 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 bang. And I was like, and then they were like, that was the policeman shooting. And I was like, okay, so there's got to be a dead person somewhere. But, and apparently they hit him at least. So that's good.
Yeah, I watch, I think I've brought this up more than once that I have an obsession with police videos. And I'm always amazed at how well people turn out after being shot multiple times, even in the abdomen, and extremities and everything. That's pretty well survived those things. I'm also amazed at other times where you hear one gunshot and the guy just falls to the ground and he's gone, whether it's a head or somewhere in the chest that just knocks him straight down.
It's only in the movies.
No, it happens.
No, people only die in the movies.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
Which movie?
All of them.
Last Action Hero starring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Total Recall.
Also featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
On to some Utah
Terminator.
news.
Also featuring Arnold Schwarzenegger.
RoboCop.
Extreme heat in Utah is causing fish to die in Utah's reservoirs and ponds, according to Fox 13. At Lost Creek Reservoir, more than 80 kokanee salmon did not survive the heat wave. Whoa, 80 fish just died.
So could you just scoop them up and take them home? Would you want to?
I guess if you're there right at the time of death, like as soon as the spirits of the fish leave the fish body, and you just grabbed them right then.
Okay.
Do you understand?
I'm okay with that answer.
Then that's when you can eat them?
I guess. Yeah, if you wait like 15 more minutes after that, then
they
it's
may
gonna
be
be
spoiled.
yucky.
I've actually never understood that. Like if you have fresh roadkill, like some guy in front of you killed a deer, why couldn't someone just take it?
People do all the time.
Really?
I don't know how often that's kind of the joke that they do that in the South a lot.
Yeah.
That they'll eat roadkill, possums and whatever.
I don't see why not. I mean, possum's one thing, but I mean, if you have an elk on the side of the freeway that just died, that's a lot of good steak.
Yeah. Well, if you hunt or prepare animals a lot, I think those people know. So they stop. They like cut some of the flesh back and smell it, and they're like, "Oh yeah, this is good."
Lick it,
and they throw that in. But if it's bad, then they're like,
he's on his back with his legs up, and he's swollen like a balloon. Probably not.
Well, if you think about it, you usually don't see that because they get cleaned up pretty quick. Like, especially if they're in the road, someone calls and they come and get them. So if you do see it, chances are it hasn't been there more than a day, I would say, and unless it's like crazy hot. I mean, right now, I would say don't do it. Anybody.
It's like an Instapot out there.
Yeah, but if it's like cooler, like November,
and
you see a dead deer, the American Fork podcast recommends that you stop, cut that open, smell it, and if you think it's good, tie it to the back of your car and take it home and cook it.
Yeah.
Unless that's illegal, then we're definitely not telling you to do that.
Yeah, and do all this on January 6th.
Yeah.
Is what we're trying to say.
Yep.
So one of the funniest things I ever see online is when you see roadkill on the side of the road and they have a little balloon tied to their leg or something that says "Get well soon." Balloon. Have you seen that before? Okay, look, just Google "Get well soon" roadkill. It's hilarious to me.
Okay.
And I keep telling my kids next time we go camping, we'll have to get some "Get well soon" balloons. Just put a little slip knot on it so you can just kind of loop the leg and tie it on there. Because there's hundreds of people that are going to pass that roadkill and laugh instead of be completely disgusted by it.
Oh, yeah.
I love it.
We're doing it.
Is there anything Barack cannot do? National news. Barack Obama just won a Emmy for narrating Netflix National Park series. I haven't watched that. Have you?
Nope.
Oh,
I haven't either.
I should, though, I
Is
guess.
Barack Obama the guy that has the cool British accent that does all the narrations? Is that him?
He's the guy that he was the president of the United States.
No, he's the actor in that one movie about the, a bunch of kids.
9/11?
Oh, the guy on
No.
Tropic Thunder?
No, not
Oh.
that one.
Oh, that was
Or,
Robert
no,
Downey.
he's one of the latest pop artists that.
Oh, K-pop artist.
Yeah.
Yeah. Barrick. Obama.
Barack Obama. So he's on his way to an EGOT plus, I think. Like, you have to get an EGOT plus be president of the United
What's an
States.
EGOT?
Emmy, Grammy,
Emmy,
Oscar,
Grammy,
and
Oscar, and
Tony.
Tony.
Well,
He
you
has
got
a
to
Tony
add
Award?
Yeah.
He's on his way to being an EGOT.
Oh, I don't know if he is.
Oh.
you got to add the what's the other award that he got for like peace?
Nobel?
Pulitzer Prize.
Oh,
Nobel.
Nobel Prize. Yeah.
A P EGOT.
Yeah, he did get a Nobel.
Pengot.
A PGOT.
Obama's like
Pengot.
so popular and handsome that people just reward him for anything. It's like, did he even? I'll have to watch it. Maybe he narrated that thing way good.
Yeah, I haven't watched it, so I don't know how goodly he did it.
I don't know either. All I know is David Attenborough narrates pretty much every nature thing ever. So they were probably happy to have someone else.
And in the tundra of South America.
I
That's the
think
guy.
I think it was part of the deal going in. It's like, now, guys, I can't do a Barack impression, but
How does
now,
Barack
guys,
talk?
so
I need an Emmy. Give me an Emmy.
Give me an Emmy.
put the enemy in the contract
Why can't we do a good Barack?
because we're
Donald?
not as
Donald, you're gonna give me an Emmy, Donald.
he's doing okay.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Yeah.
I like that. I feel okay with that. We can go on now.
Okay.
Uh,
You think that's a good place to end? Just stop, Jake.
no,
Listen.
but good on him. I mean, he's the most popular man in the universe. So
He needs to be on a coin.
He's the most perfect human being that's ever lived.
yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Except
He was totally flawless.
Canadian police arrest their second suspect in stabbing rampage.
What?
Apparently, some Canadians, which that's got to be fake because Canadians,
Don't have knives.
yeah, and they're not mean to anyone ever.
No. They don't have crime in Canada.
I heard it was an AR Cutco.
AR Cutco,
Mm-hmm.
a Cutco AR,
Mm-hmm.
a knife shaped like an AR-15.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, I guess they had some guys stab a bunch of people. What happened? I didn't hear a lot about it.
They were
actually
just
have no
stabbing,
idea.
and they just caught the two guys involved.
How many people did they stab?
I don't know, it was
Why
like
are we
10 or
talking
something?
about it? 10?
Yeah.
10 people.
Dude, that's more than that freaking mall shooter got.
Yeah.
He got 0.
Stabbed a bunch of people. There was a stabbing in Japan like a year or so ago
10
where
people.
someone stabbed like 30 people on a subway or something like that.
That's terrible.
Yeah, can you imagine being on the subway and like guys like walking down, stab, stab, stab as he's going, and you're like, that guy's gonna eventually try and stab me
Yeah.
after he stabs those 20 people in front of me.
The
Yeah,
only-
there were people filming the aftermath of people just laying in their own blood.
Yeah,
The only thing that can stop a bad guy with a knife is a good guy with a knife.
I know. So now you need to carry a knife with you everywhere so that when he tries to stab you, you can stab him at the same time,
Right.
and be double stabbed.
You get, yeah. So that when you guys stab each other at the same time, the fountains of blood just like pool together and Everyone gets diseases.
Yeah.
It sounds like that movie that Brad Pitt just made. Did you see that?
Bullet
No.
Train.
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
haven't seen it yet.
Oh, you haven't? It looked like
That
there'd be a
looked
lot
really
of stabbing in it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot
Like,
of stab.
yeah, but anyway. So that sucks.
Yeah, there were 10 people. They killed 10 people, stabbing them.
Killed 10 people.
After
stabbing.
the 3-day manhunt that also yielded the body of his brother, they think that the murderer that they most recently caught was also killed by killed his brother.
Where were these people? Where did they stab them?
The stabbing was in Saskatchewan. Is that what you mean, or
No,
the
like
region
where
of the body?
Were they at the mall? Were they
Oh,
at a park? Was it at someone's house?
What
a
part of my
party?
body is Saskatchewan?
the Saskatchewan is the Chestal region.
That's where the heart beats.
I was at the pool and I saw this lady with some really awesome Saskatchewan.
Your wife has been gone so long.
You're gonna die again, Phil. Stop dying on.
You didn't find that? You didn't find where they were? No.
I will say that with a knife, you can get a lot of damage done. We went to Swiss Days up in Midway this week, and there was a lot of people, like shoulder to shoulder, hundreds and hundreds of people per row that we were at. And if you were a skilled marksman with a knife, with a Cutco, you could do a lot of damage in a place like that.
And where?
We were at Swiss Days up in Midway, like a festival.
Like a ton of people.
Yeah, there's
You're
tons
rubbing,
of people.
bumping shoulders with a lot of folks.
Oh yeah. And until it got real hot in the afternoon, it was just shoulder to shoulder every single aisle, and like the lines for the food. There was just hundreds of people waiting in lines. It's like, if you were, like I said, you knew what you were doing with a knife, you could do a lot of damage in a short period of time.
Well, according to Wikipedia, on September 4th, a mass stabbing occurred in 13 locations on the James Smith Cree Nation and in Weldon, Saskatchewan, Canada, in which 11 people were killed and 19 others injured. Some of the victims are believed to have been targeted, while others were randomly attacked. It is one of the deadliest massacres in Canadian history. So
We got you beat, Canada.
yeah, so it's like a big deal over a wide area. So partly it sounds like on a native land, or I assume the James Smith Cree Nation is
Probably a
like
native,
a native
indigenous.
reservation. But why would they name it James Smith? That doesn't sound like a native
Well,
Canada.
Have you ever heard of Thorpe? What's the first name? James Thorpe,
Matt Thorpe.
Pennsylvania.
No.
It's a town that was started by a Native American. He was an All-American football player, and he's a Native American. Jim Thorpe is the name of the town, and that was, I guess, his American name.
Oh, okay.
I know when a lot of like Koreans, Chinese, certain cultures come to America, they assume an American name.
Yeah, they'll adopt an American name.
Or any other English-speaking area, I guess, because it's hard for us to pronounce too many consonants in one word.
So what's the moral of the story here? Ha ha, if you try and get rid of guns, people will just stab.
Yeah.
Stab.
If you get rid of knives, they'll just make bombs out of firecrackers.
And if you get rid of those, they'll just like walk around punching old women in the
babies.
face.
So
and babies.
if the only thing better than, or a bad man with a gun is a good man with a gun, bad man with a knife is a good man with a knife, are we going to have to just carry around all of these weapons in order to be considered the better person?
But on previous episodes, we fully established that a good guy with a bomb is not stopped with cannot stop a bad guy with a bomb.
Right.
Bombs are just bad all around. Good or bad, doesn't matter.
Tom Cruise.
We just need, instead of bomb-sniffing dogs, we need murder-sniffing dogs that can actually smell people who are like, have murderous intent.
So you're right. We do need Tom Cruise. Precogs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
No, pre-dogs.
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 Get it?
There's 4 dogs in a pool.
Just laying there on their backs.
Choking in the water. Oh,
One's a
those
pug.
poor things. They're terrible.
There's a pug and a labradoodle.
Aren't pugs like suffering constantly their whole life?
They snore a lot.
They're bred to be dying slowly every day.
Yeah.
They're bred to have sinus issues.
Isn't that what it is?
You're
Yeah.
part pug.
I am. Because I have all those issues once a year, twice a year.
Because you get lightheaded when you cough.
Yeah.
Jake, just come out openly. Like you do Rover sometimes, pays for your elaborate vacations. And what's the worst dog ever? It's pugs, right?
No, actually, it's not. The worst dogs we've had are probably part lab. At least the most that mess the house up the most are the labs. Especially if they're puppies
What kind of
or
labs?
males.
Like yellow lab, black lab.
Yellow, we've had a couple yellow labs that have been, we won't invite them back.
Chocolate labs.
We had one, it was a Great Pyrenees, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Big dog, huge, like just standing up, he could put his head on the top of our, countertop. And he was like, didn't know that he was strong, I guess. He bit like 3 of us.
Oh my God.
Like if
Okay, don't be funny because Phil's
And
going
he-
to die.
he
On this
fought
episode.
with the other dogs, and anyway, we don't want him back.
It's so funny because, like, if I got bit by a dog, I would shoot it. Like, if it was my neighbors or whatever, or at the very least, I'd like call animal control. But people who love dogs, like, they get bit or it growls at them, and they're like, "Oh, he's just having a bad day." I'm like, that wild animal's about to eat you.
Well, we didn't like him, so yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to shoot.
Do you ever get little dogs?
You weren't
Like
gonna
pugs?
shoot. You weren't gonna shoot your neighbor's dog.
Because every dog I've seen at your house has been bigger dogs. Do you get little like chihuahuas
Yeah,
or
sometimes
pugs?
we get
or-
little
wiener
Yorkie. We have
dogs.
a couple of Yorkies that come over a lot, and
yeah,
Maltese dogs.
yeah, and they're okay.
And almost
It's the-
always the smaller ones are way better than the big
They're
ones.
chill?
Yeah.
I hate pugs though. I'm gonna go on record right now.
Okay. On the record.
Can't stand people
is-
with sinus problems
So you watch
Or
other
dogs.
or dogs. Sorry, what I say?
people.
you watch other people's dogs for them,
Mhm.
and then in turn they watch your dog when you go
They
somewhere.
pay us money.
Oh, they pay you money.
Mhm.
Oh, so who watches your dogs?
If we go out of town, we'll just have family members stay at our house for a couple days.
Oh, really?
Yeah. We've got a niece that loves our dogs, and she'll come over and hang out at our house
Yeah.
while we're gone.
Well, that's fun.
Yeah.
Nationwide news is really freaking hot right now. And California is having rolling power outages, which is funny because the governor just declared that by 2035, it would be illegal to sell a combustion engine
A gas-powered
automobile
vehicle.
in the state of California. So they obviously have some work to do on their infrastructure.
No, but you
Well-
heard part of the statement was that he was asking people to not charge their cars during this rolling power problem.
Oh, yeah. I looked into that. I don't know if he directly said that or he just said we want people to conserve power. And that really does imply to the people who charge, because charging your car is like, I think 3 times more energy use than you use like for your home. You know what I mean? Like your total energy. I don't know the exact numbers, but it's a lot of energy to charge your car. It's
I know-
more than any other appliance in your house.
I know it takes like 3 days to charge an electric car
Yeah.
on a standard outlet in your home. But the power just comes from the magic, right? The air.
Yeah.
When you charge your battery powered vehicle, your electric vehicle, it's like magic power.
Yeah, because it's a Tesla, it doesn't take any other combustible fuels
Yeah.
like coal, natural gas.
It just,
And the energy,
just takes-
it's all free energy.
Yeah, the wind turbines are free.
Well, the
you guys are
sun
being
and-
facetious, but I think in reality you're saying that it's the same. You're increasing the the output needs of the power plants, which in theory are coal, natural gas.
Yeah.
A lot of them, I don't know in California, but apparently there are a lot of like wood burning power plants
Are you
in our country.
serious?
Yeah, where they like dump sawdust and bark and stuff, like tree trimmings from like logging and stuff like that.
Anything combustible.
There's tons of stuff like that. In other countries, they have like garbage power plants where they're burning garbage.
Yeah,
Makes sense.
They get dump waste from the dump and burn it.
Yeah.
We'll have to have my dad on one time, but he worked at a place. It was the Twilla Chemical Demill facility, and they destroyed nerve gas there, and they incinerated it.
Yeah.
And the building was designed in such a way that there was multiple stages of filtration and air control in that. So there's like the incinerator, and then there's level 1, 2, 3, 4, whatever, right out. And so each one was like airtight. And this is getting somewhere, I promise. But they did that because they're incinerating nerve agent. Like they couldn't just burn it and release it out into the air, right? They had to control how many toxins went out. Point is, why wouldn't you have a facility similar to that where you could burn garbage and terrible crap, but then you filter it out through these filters, and you're doing two solutions at the same time. I mean, sorry, the landfill in Salt Lake is not very beautiful. They're building a whole mountain over there. Like it used to be like at the lake level, and now it's like this massive mountain, and you're like, oh my gosh, that's all garbage and dirt, like blended together.
Yeah,
it's
crazy to think how much garbage we have in this
the Utah County Waste Facility is that. That's a big bald mountain, just full of dirt, garbage.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, they should
Out by
just
the
open
lake.
a little hole on top, drop some like barbecue charcoal in there, and let it just like smolder, you know, and put a propeller or whatever on top of that that'll spin around and power the street lights for like a quarter mile.
Yeah.
Just pump the air into a jet stream that goes to China.
Yeah.
It'll be good.
But anyway, I thought it was interesting because I'm like, is that a good thing? Or is it really just like a publicity stunt? Like, oh yeah, we want to push this ahead. We want to get rid of gas cars, which I would say in California, I mean, in Utah too, it's a big problem. But California is notoriously like polluted, especially the LA area, because they got too many cars. But to say 2035, that's how many years? That's like 12 years away, 13 years.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yeah, good luck.
So in 13 years, they're going to completely revamp their entire auto industry. So all Ford dealers, all that, they're all going to only have electric vehicles. Like, does that even make sense at all?
It's crap like this that's just going to collapse, and it's not going to turn, like, you can't go back on that. And if you do, you just push it off into the future.
I think they will. The next governor will just be like, "Oh, we can't."
Yeah, they'll
but-
override it.
And then we won't even hear anything about it.
Right.
Like this makes news, but then, government admits that it's not feasible, is not going to make news.
I think right now California has like 5% are electric vehicles. I think that maybe that's electric or hybrid. But I was watching a video the other day of someone in California driving by a charging facility, a Tesla power station.
Yeah.
And they drove for like a mile really slow, and there was car after car after car waiting in line to charge the battery.
Yeah.
Right.
The infrastructure for charging, the efficiency and infrastructure don't make sense right now for us to mandate electric vehicles or outlaw gas-powered vehicles in 12, 13 years.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to spit these numbers out from memory, so don't take them to the bank. But I encourage you, listener, to look them up for yourself. But I believe when I first read about this,
Fact check him.
I looked it up, and I think about 2 million cars are sold in California every year right now. So presumably with population increase, it'll be more than that in another 12
I think California is the only
13
place
years?
with population decrease.
Yeah, I was going to say maybe
Go on, though.
population's going
Sorry.
down.
So let's say it'll be around 2 million cars. Well, right now, the United States produces, I think, 600,000 electric and hybrid cars. I couldn't find a number on electric only cars, but pretty much we would have to quadruple how many electric cars we're making in 13 years only for California's needs, not to mention what California would have to do to update their electrical infrastructure to charge all those cars. I mean, that's 2 million more electric vehicles per year they would be adding to the grid.
Well, plus you have people. These are people buying new cars, but the increase or the rate of electric car purchasing would even be higher because people are no longer driving their otherwise would be using gas-powered vehicles.
Yeah, and that's the other thing. I don't know that they're outlawing gas. They're just saying you can't sell them.
It'd be illegal to sell them.
So in theory, people just drive over to Nevada.
Over state lines.
Yeah. So
right.
What's the... There really isn't anything on the border of California, is there?
They're going to destroy an infrastructure.
Just Satan.
Satan.
Tijuana.
Yeah, Tijuana. Oh, I guess Vegas is like pretty much on the border, right?
It's close.
Yeah.
But what they're going to do, just like a lot of their plans, is that they're just going to destroy a business. No one's going to be able to sell gas-powered cars there, but you can have a gas-powered car.
Yeah.
Yeah. So people are just going to go to Salt Lake or Vegas or Portland or Seattle or wherever they are in California. They're going to go somewhere nearby and go buy a car and just bring it into California.
So you're helping the economies of the surrounding states.
So basically, you should get a freaking dealership to the closest border town in California, especially Southern California.
Start a gas-only dealership.
Yeah. It sells
just outside in Elko.
Sells giant trucks, big gas guzzling motherfuckers. You know what I mean? Like just insane Tahoes and Suburbans and
call it the MAGA dealership.
Yeah. And only be open on January 6th.
I like it. No, but we'll see what happens. Maybe it's meaningless, maybe not. But it is kind of crazy that as soon as they said they're going to do that, it'd be one thing if you're like in a state like Utah where we never have power issues. And I assume we could use a lot more power if we needed to. Or if they were a state that had that were building 5 nuclear reactors. Because then I'd be like, oh, yeah, you're going to have plenty of power. But I don't know that that's the case either. It seems like California is, in my opinion, not using the things that would actually help the situation, which, in my opinion, nuclear is the clear...
Cold fusion.
Or cold fusion they're working on, but not... Or just fusion, I think.
Yeah.
Fusion reaction.
Or water-powered.
Water-powered, yeah.
Hydrogen.
I feel like...
Well, we've noticed this year, though, that's a big problem. Because now they're, having to ration power and stuff because their lakes are almost empty.
Who?
For now.
Hoover Dam? Not Hoover Dam.
Vegas and...
California.
Yeah.
Meade and Lake Powell, all those, they're that's probably why California is having issues, because
some of Europe too is saying, recommending people keep their thermostats at 78 or higher.
Yeah, nuclear burns no matter what the weather is, no matter any of that. It's 100% emission free. The only downside is you have to be really careful so you don't melt down, obviously, and you got to dispose of eternal Satan waste.
Yeah, but you know who disposes of that? USANA.
Who's that?
USANA Amphitheater. Remember?
No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, I know what that is.
So USANA is a biohazard waste. They basically have specialized dumps that only deal with biohazard, not biohazard, but biohazard, radioactive, medical waste. They deal with high, I don't know what the word is,
highly toxic
or highly
potent?
Dangerous
satanic
waste.
Yeah.
They're not dealing with baby diapers. They're dealing with waste. And the way they do it is it's great out here in the salt flats because they'll dig down into these salt chambers, 100 feet, and salt has a way of like combating radioactive waste. Apparently,
Yeah.
they'll bury them like 30 stories below ground and just leave them there forever.
Yeah, there's one in Colorado apparently where they've dug like, I don't know, a mile or something down in the earth, and then they just have these long tunnels, and they just have a forklift down there that takes these barrels way down the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
And well, actually, there's like a slit in the floor, so they'll like take it down, lower it down in the floor, bury it, and back up a little,
Which probably does nothing, but
yeah. Well, helps the workers probably
for a minute,
not be as exposed. But.
Well, and this is one of those subjects that like I don't think we talk about it enough with real people that actually know what they're talking about, because after the Cold War here in Tooele, like I was telling you, my dad worked there, the chemical demill facility. They took a nerve agent which was designed to kill people instantly, and they put it in above ground bunkers in 55-gallon barrels.
Yeah.
And these barrels would literally cook in the sun. These are above ground bunkers. They're not like 50 degrees under the ground. They're like getting up into hundreds of degrees in the summertime. And my dad said they would crack a chamber open and there would literally be 4 inches of sludge on the ground. And it's all nerve agent. Any living thing anywhere near that would die.
Yuck.
And the only way that they get it out is they had these guys that back in the day, they were making insane amounts of money.
Mm-hmm.
They would get sealed into their suits with, they actually would heat seal them. So they literally, there's no air exchange.
Had to be cut out of them.
They had to be cut out of them. They had to be heat sealed into them. They had comm systems set up, but they could only operate in those suits for like 2 hours at a time or something like that. So they had, anyway, these guys would go and open these chambers and they would literally clean up this biohazard or this, I keep saying biohazard, but it's like a
nerve agent.
This nerve agent. They put it into these specialized trucks and containers and transport it to the inner sanctum to destroy the stuff. But my point is, that's what we were dealing with some designed to kill humans. It wasn't just radioactive. It was like designed to kill people.
Yeah.
I think burying it a mile underground in salt chambers, like that's a decent solution.
Yeah, I think so. And maybe someone will figure out a way to like neutralize it or whatever, make it not so deadly.
Yeah, put like baking soda on it or something.
Yeah.
Right.
Because that thing...
Clorox, right?
Because
spray some Clorox on it?
You know, it's sorry to turn this serious, but my dad said, I asked him, I said, well, then there's concrete walls and it's all porous concrete. I'm like, how do they get rid of it? He's like, Clorox. Bleach kills everything and neutralizes everything. So that's what he said they do. They'd go spray it.
So why don't we just inject it into our veins?
Why don't we
drink it straight?
Take shots of pure Clorox.
I heard someone told me. I don't know. People are saying you can drink bleach.
The greatest cure is eating a light bulb. Eat a light bulb.
Probably the most tremendous.
I'm glad we got that out of our system. It's been like a whole episode or two.
But yeah, and again, like the Chernobyl thing, because I'll always be like, oh, nuclear is the answer. And people are like, oh, are you kidding me? Look at Chernobyl. And it is crazy. I don't know if you've watched that.
Yeah, but come on.
Thing on Chernobyl.
Come on. That'd be like someone being like, hey, I want to have a baby. And it's like, yeah, but there's, that John Wayne Gacy thing.
Yeah.
Like, you don't want that, do you?
But it's
there was that Ted Bundy situation. You don't want to have kids now.
Yeah.
Come on.
It is kind of like that. Except if John Wayne Gacy were like a molten radioactive thing that killed everything within a quarter mile that you couldn't dispose of, that's like melting its way through the crust of the earth somehow.
You make it sound so sexy.
Yeah.
No, but the point is, how many other nuclear power plants are running without any problems?
Yeah, exactly. There's a ton. And they had that one, and then the one in Japan, they had the problem. And that was because of like a tsunami.
Yeah.
So it can be detrimental to the environment. But if you go ahead and look it up. Look how much power a nuclear power plant generates and compare it to any other source. It's insane. It's literally the equivalent of like 50 coal plants or like 300 solar farms. Like, I don't know the exact numbers, but it really is like a big amount of power. Like
Yeah.
every other source, hydro, I guess, can generate quite a bit if it's a big dam. But
Watch your mouth.
Yeah.
But how profitable is that?
Is what?
Producing
Hydro.
clean, safe, very efficient energy.
Yeah, I don't know how much it is. I imagine it's most of the cost in nuclear is getting the material purified or whatever.
So it's I'm just trying to think of we've been using gas, oil, crude oil for a long time because it's a very, very profitable business.
Right.
Right.
Is it profitable to do nuclear? If it's not, then I'd imagine it probably would take a long time for us to implement something like that because
It
a
takes
lot of
away.
politicians are not going to be making money off of.
Yeah, maybe not. Maybe it's more like a
business
science
people.
experiment type thing, like the James Webb telescope, which we'll talk about in a minute. But maybe it's more like, oh, look, this is cool. We can do it, but it's not necessarily. But I don't know. To my understanding, they purify these rods and stick them in there, and the thing runs for like 50 years
Yeah.
and generates perfectly clean power. Like all they got to do is not stick the rods in the water the wrong time like Russia did or whatever, and then blow everything up. But
Yeah, it's very technical, but at the same time, pretty basic. I think we got it down.
yeah,
Like I said, it's like, you
they
have
can do it.
tsunamis and you have Chernobyl and you have certain situations that have come up. But also look at when Chernobyl was.
yeah,
I mean, it's a long time ago.
it was a long time ago.
I think nuclear power plants are run off of an iPhone app now.
Yeah. No, when I was
Android.
when
Oh,
I was
and Android.
when I was at school in Boston, we did this collaboration with a class at MIT, and we went over and took a little tour in there. And MIT actually has a nuclear power plant in the middle of their school, so the students like learn nuclear fusion or whatever.
Wow.
In like it's like here it is. Look right through this glass, and you look through, and
There it is.
Like so, it's obviously very safe.
So that's
'Cause it's-
where the Hulk's from?
That's where they made the Hulk, Spider-Man, Dr. Octo,
Dr. Manhattan.
yeah,
from-
Manhattan from The Watchmen.
Yep.
All
right there at
and
MIT.
Bluey is actually made there. So no, I just
Dad!
discovered Bluey like 2 weeks ago, but now we
Really?
watch it all
Finally?
the time. Yeah,
My kid loves that.
my whole family loves it.
Everyone loves it. If you don't like Bluey, I'll fight you.
Your name's Adolf.
I mean, you're probably Hitler.
Crystal showed me this meme or whatever. It was Adam Sandler sitting on the couch watching Bluey, and it said, "What I do for 4 hours after my kids go to bed." Like,
Yeah,
So-
it's a good one. I got a couple stuffies, stuffed animals of Bluey.
I want one.
Yeah.
I'll pay you a lot of money for it.
I'll talk to my son. See if he wants.
anyway, the James Webb telescope sent back the very first image ever of a exoplanet. Do you know what that means, Jeff?
Well, I'm stuck. Isn't James Webb like a rapist from the past?
They say
And
he
with a rapist wit.
presided over some racist, rapey times.
Okay, so he's a rapey manager. This guy's messed
So
up.
wait, he was alive when a rapist lived. So therefore, we should cancel it.
Yes.
Okay, go on with your story.
Anyway, I'm going to show you this image
I hope so,
and see what you think about it.
dude. They're pumping out these images, huh? From
Yeah,
the James
the
Webb.
thing works, so that's exciting.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you can see this very well, but
Well, I guarantee the listener can.
this is the official image that they sent. So let me describe what we're looking at. There's
Do it in
there's a
in
star.
Attenborough's voice.
Oh God.
that is a star. I can't do it. I can't
Okay, just do it in your voice.
Deep in the
deep
depths
in the
of
jungle.
space,
Watch as
the James Webb telescope.
the kookaburra
has discovered an exoplanet.
Anyway, we're looking at a star, and then it gives you like a pop-up bubble that's showing you like the close-up of the star. And the funny thing about this is like there are 4 images. One's purple, one's blue, one's like orange, and then one's red. And every one of them has like a child's sticker looking star on them, which I assume is like where the star is. And then there's a big light blob next to that with a pointer called planet. And the planet is probably like, I don't know, 18 pixels in total width.
It looks like it's on Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Super
It looks
Nintendo.
like something you'd see in the sky on Mario.
Yeah, exactly. So it's not, I'm just saying right now, I'm not impressed. I don't,
How many billions of light years away is this thing?
I don't know. It's got to be a long way. Well, I assume they're trying to get a planet of a star that's reasonably close. They're calling this exoplanet HIP 65426b.
What is an exoplanet? I'm sorry.
It's a planet outside of the sun's solar system.
So it's not an exoskeleton planet?
Nope,
It doesn't have the skeleton on the
It's
outside?
exterior to our solar system. So this is the first. They've often said, "Oh, we've discovered a planet," and we have because we look at this star and it twinkles a little bit, and it does it on a regular interval, so we know
Oh.
there's a planet. But this is the first time we've actually
Captured
seen
a picture of a planet.
Yeah, and that's what that is.
Dope. That's actually
So,
really cool.
It is cool, but I wish it were better.
So the different colors mean what?
They're the different instruments. So
Okay.
you've got NIRCam and all that stuff. They're like different sensors on the James Webb. So one's more infrared than the other. I presume. I assume.
I like how inclusive it is. It's very Pride Month
It's very
esque.
Roy G. Biv of them.
Very rainbow-esque.
Yeah, very rainbow. You know, they've got all different colors and
Yeah. It's very Roy G. Biv of them.
mhm.
Anyway, if you have a moment, Google James Webb exoplanet image, and you'll pop up exactly what I just described.
And if you have more than a moment, type in James Webb
Racist.
racist.
Rapist, raper face.
Cancel.
So yeah, I mean, if you zoom in right there, can you see people on that? I guess there is like a little dot.
Wait,
like,
is that a swimming pool?
yeah.
Looks like a face.
Or like if you zoom in on this one.
Oh, that one's giving us the double bird.
So
So we're looking at like, we've got a projector in here. It's like 8 feet wide. And you can definitely see that there's like a lighter colored blob in the middle of a darker red blob.
I didn't know that flipping off was a universal thing.
Yeah. So we don't, based off these images, we don't know if this planet is round or egg shaped or.
Why would it be egg shaped?
I don't know. Maybe it's
we
like
don't know, Jeff. We
spinning
can't tell.
so fast that it's like
Losing
oblong. They say
centrifugal.
they say the Earth is
It's
not round.
No,
it's
they
not
don't.
perfectly
It's-
round.
it's
yes,
actually-
they do say that.
It's actually wider.
It's flat.
It's actually wider at the equator because of how it's spinning.
It's because of-
stretched a little bit.
It's because of the tides getting pulled. So, who's the guy that always blows everyone's mind? He's a black dude.
Neil
He's like,
deGrasse Tyson.
yeah.
Yeah.
He was saying that he told me I was watching his.
No, I was watching it.
No, I watched it, and you know what I did too? I listened.
Oh,
He was saying that if you shrunk Earth down to the size of a cue ball, it would be smoother than any machined cue ball we've ever had.
yeah, you said
No,
that.
he said, if you take the Earth and
You're
you
not doing it.
shrink it down,
Yeah,
you have to
That's
say
how
it
it
like
goes.
it's
I
the
know.
most interesting thing in the
Yeah.
world.
but it's not to me. But it is to him.
Mm-hmm.
But he's saying and I understood his point. There's an 11-mile difference between the deepest part of the ocean and the highest point of Earth. Like from Everest to the
Yeah.
Mariana Trench, it's like 11 miles or something like that. And he's like, if you spread that out amongst 29 million miles, I don't know how big the Earth is, but you stretch that around, and he's like, it's as smooth as it could possibly be. So now you're telling me that it's oblong?
It is oblong. That's what he told me. That's where I learned that.
So he's comparing it to a cue ball. If I hit this cue ball, I'm not going to hit the ball I want.
And I think the context was somebody was asking him, they're like, so what do you think about this flat earth stuff? And he like kind of pondered for a bit, and he's like, well, the Earth actually isn't round. And they were like, well, what? And then he described what I told him.
But then right after that, he was like, and I want to tell you this too. Birds, not real.
Yeah.
That's what he said.
Birds are not real.
9/11 was fake.
Anyway.
Yeah, so this is
taking
Kolob.
it too far.
Yeah, this is we found Kolob.
This is where
and the star is
Elohim
apparently where
lives.
God lives. Right?
God lives on a star?
No, he lives on
A planet near a star.
No, the planet Kolob is the nearest to God.
Oh,
It pretty much. Have you seen the movie Interstellar?
not really.
It's Mormonism.
Oh, maybe I have.
Like
Really?
exactly. Yeah, because they're like they go out into space. There's this planet that's like right by the singularity, which if you go inside, you know everything. You can go like
That's
back
cool.
in time. So that's where God
Matthew
is.
McConaughey.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I have seen that actually.
Yeah.
Doesn't he drive a Cadillac in that movie?
Yeah.
A Lincoln.
Doesn't he also put the rods in the sand? And he tries to gather. No?
No.
There's another one? Okay.
No rods. But anyway, they found Kolob with the James Webb telescope.
That's a good story, Phil. Thank you.
And I think that's it.
Oh,
The end.
say
Bye.
these things.
In the name of... Oh, yeah, main topic. Why I love men more than women, ... sexually.
Jeez, Phil, why did you have that topic today?
Let's bring that up.
Anyway, thank you for being with us on the American Forked podcast. We took you on a wild ride today. Please tell your friends about this podcast and get on and rate or review the show on whatever thing you're listening to on. If it's Apple Podcasts, they have a little spot there where you can click 5 stars or 1 star.
You can only do 5, I think. No.
Oh,
Yeah. The
you can only
one
do
through
5?
4 is broken.
No, you can do 1. Be honest.
No, I think
Oh,
No.
Jake says no. Just
Yeah.
5 stars.
Yeah.
But also check us out on patreon.com/American Forked, where you can donate a little bit of money every month to our cause to help fix America. It can be $1. It can be $10 a month. It can be 25 cents. I don't know.
30,000.
You can give whatever you want. And if you do, you'll feel like you are helping to fix this divided country. Maybe.
And also, if you're listening to this podcast right now, next week, and you went to American Fork High School and graduated in 2002, next week is our family reunion, our graduation reunion, 2002 graduation, 20-year reunion.
Oh, that's right.
20 years.
Yeah, you should go.
I am going,
It's the 22nd on a Thursday,
which is the weirdest thing ever.
which is weird.
And it's at the high school at American
At the
Fork.
high school,
Yeah.
Don't worry, they reserved. We got reservations.
Is there an open bar?
At the high school.
No, there's a lot of pregame though. I'll tell you that.
Oh, is there?
Oh yeah.
Parking lot stuff?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
sounds like a good time. We should bring Trent.
You're coming with me.
Okay.
You're gonna be my +1.
Oh yeah, you don't have a +1 right now.
That's right.
Where is she?
Where in the world
Is Colleen Thomas Draper?
Thomas?
Anyway, thanks for being
Oh
with
my
us.
God, I didn't think it would ever end.
Have a good night. Goodbye.
Goodbye.
Where we get so low, so low, so low. Don't forget how low we go. It's American Forked. It's American Forked podcast.